up with smoke, and I got my veins all tangled close to the jukebox bars you frequent, the safest place to hide. A long night's
Big video, never works.
You start shaking at the thought. You are everything I want, 'cause you are everything I'm not. And we like together just
All right. Welcome in to week 7 of the That's It Fantasy Football. Is it week 7? Yeah, I thought you were correcting me. Week 7 of the That's It Fantasy Football Podcast.
Whoa!
That would be the trifecta. All three of us have had our music played. It's a good feeling. Before we get into the podcast, let's hear it for our sponsor, Bean Mug and Coffee Co. Bean Mug and Coffee Co. is a small batch coffee company out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey. They specialize in Jersey Shore-inspired blends that are unique to the shore. We have Ethiopian coffee running out the rest of the month of October. We have some pumpkin spice still in the mix. We actually just ordered a couple more cases. I think we're going to run this a little bit until maybe about the second week of November before we release our holiday blend. K-Cup's doing well. I do tell you this. I appreciate everybody's support coming to see us at the farmers markets, putting your orders online, all that good stuff. As always, the promo code is DASIT, one word, DASIT, at checkout for 10% off all coffee. We're sipping on some beach bonfire tonight. It's pretty good. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing 53 points well. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah, not even like a 0.0, like just the number 53. That was solid. That was so nuts.
Mm-hmm. How
That
you
was
guys
crazy.
doing?
Oh, I feel great.
So aside from, I just realized this week, and I actually have my first gray hair, like real gray hair. It's actually hair number 1 on my head because it's literally like the first hair.
Dick.
So it
Like
has to be
Bruce
hair number
Wayne.
1.
Like an aging Bruce Wayne.
So
Still a superhero in my eyes.
No,
have
I
about
see those.
30 up there already, so.
no,
I have
but
one
I just,
I have one right here in the back. A long
we
gray
can't
one
see.
in the back.
Your video's
I know,
broken.
I sure you can't see it, but
Yeah, we can.
it's just one. Maybe you said it.
So
it's right in the back. It's
yeah.
like long and cool.
That's how my week's going.
2 kids, man.
They don't mean anything.
Other than that, gearing towards election week, which is exciting. Finally
Yes,
get
I
to
am off on
exhale as a
Tuesday.
country. Oh, nice. Good for you. Exhale, hopefully, as a country, which would be nice, and go from there.
True.
I guess we get into some matchups. Is that what we're doing?
Normally,
Let's get it
Is that
going.
how we start? Does anyone have anything else? Everyone else's week is okay?
everybody's great. It's very rare that I win, and so do the Eagles. So, you know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones can't catch me now, boy. Let's see here. Let's start off with, is this matchup done, or is this the real score? Let's see. Charles and Adam, a solid 89.9 and 81.4. With Cup versus Everett, who he picked up, I see, before the matchup. So, what do you guys think of this matchup? Come on, let's get into it.
I think he should rename his team to 2 wins, 1 cup.
Oh my gosh.
I'm petitioning for him to rename his team 2 wins, 1 cup.
I'm petitioning for starting Dillian. Wait, was his name out? Dylan was Aaron Jones was hurt, right?
Yeah, Aaron Jones. I forget the injury. I want to say
Because I
it was
saw
a
that, I
leg
know
injury
he-
of some sort, I believe.
Oh, that's why my team went off. Damn. Anyway, that team, that's not a good score. I know he has Cup left, and ESPN's being very generous, from 89 to 100 projection, which would still beat Adam on just the legs of Everett for now. Slayton in the flex, Mike Evans. Remember we say Mike Evans does like the 1 touchdown game, and then, He didn't do anything.
We say it
Tom
all the
Brady
time. It's a that's a typical Mike Evans. It's funny
Tom Brady
because
threw to
when we
everyone.
were drafting, I was contemplating picking Mike Evans, and I was like, man, I really want to take George Kittle. I think he was available. Well, obviously Travis Kelce was my first pick, but it was between like Travis Kelce, Mike Evans, and George Kittle. And obviously Kelce was taking my AJ. I'm like, man, Mike Evans or George Kittle. I go, I really don't have to make that decision. And then Adam took Mike Evans, and I was like, oh, thank God.
What sucks is that Tom Brady threw to like everyone, and Mike Evans had 5 points.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you, it's frustrating sometimes when you get to the quarterbacks that have, like, for example, I think Tom Brady had like 43 points or 44 points or something like that, and then Mike Evans has 5.7.
Yep.
Well, on the other side of that, there was a lot of quarterbacks this week had like 3 to 4, maybe 5 touchdowns. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert. You know, a lot of people had 40 points, and the scores were high. And you look at this Denver game; it was 43-16, but Mahomes wasn't part of that at all. Like he only ends up with 14.
Tell me about
like
it.
He's not part of that slaughter. So it was like, you know, he got it was just a terrible. You know, what are you gonna do? I mean, Keenan Allen did what Keenan Allen does.
So
anybody on the bench?
listen, they're projected like a 10 points away. He's up 8 right now. I mean, is this a game where, like, for whatever reason, Everett gets the touchdown, Cooper Kupp doesn't get involved in the game, and Adam wins and Charles loses? Like, Charles has to win the game.
He has 1 catch ahead of him.
Charles is 1-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in dangerous waters right now.
And that's just a game you want to win. I'm sorry, Adam, but like that's just a game you want to win.
Of course.
And it's like the year he's having, similar like Jake and I last year, right, Jake? It's like the year he's having, like he's gonna lose because Everett's gonna go off.
Mm-hmm.
It's if they're both
He's gonna lose like 93 to 90.
If they're both watching the game right now, that means that they are watching the game, and every time the ball gets aired out, they're, you know, who's it going to be? Because someone might get a lot of yards, but Everett might get that cheap touchdown, like just to get like
Exactly.
Cup might make like a 3-point catch, but Everett's going to get 7 points for like a goal line touchdown. And this Josh Reynolds kid keeps getting the ball. So that's hurting both of them, or hurting Adam more, obviously, because he's behind. But I guess then that's a matchup they're definitely keeping an eye on. We'll keep on throughout the rest of the matchup.
We'll give an update before we leave. Some big implications, though, because
it's a big deal.
3-4 versus 2-5. If he loses, he's 2-5. If Charles wins, he's 2-5. I mean, it's a big deal here.
Yeah.
Certainly is. Next we have. And this was a good one. We have Jay and Tom. Jay's up 166 to 150, and it's over. It's a finished matchup, so it's easy to progress. And Tom was a little angry. He was pretty vocal this week, yesterday.
Yeah.
He's asking who Johnson is.
He texted me earlier. I did speak with him earlier just to console him a little bit. He actually reached out to me, but you have to console people when they lose like this. The word he described for his loss this weekend was brutal.
Yes.
He said brutal. He put up the third most amount of points, I think, at the time or currently or whatever the case is, third amount of points, and he lost.
Sure.
Yeah, when you can beat 9 teams and you're playing one of the other 2, it's always a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
That's like when AJ and I played, and he put up like 151. I put up 159. He beats every other team that week except for the one you played. Like, those suck.
Yeah.
I've asked this question before. And I don't know if you guys answered. I forget your answers. But like, what kind of loss do you like? Like, is it like a wallop? Like you lose like by 1,000, or you lose a close game?
1,000. Let me just get me out of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be fighting to the end. If I fight to the end, I want to win. Obviously, I'm not trying to. If I have to watch Monday
night, I
night,
look at it at 5:30 on Sunday. I'm like, well, see you later.
Yeah. So I have to keep checking in. Like if I'm going to fight that close to the end, you don't want to lose by a reception or no.
He plays Tannehill over Matt Ryan, which is funny because last week they each had like 39 points or something like that.
And now they had 21.3 and 21.4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tom didn't play anyone wrong. It's just Carson got hurt.
Well, no, when you put up 150 fucking points, like, did you play? How could you play somebody wrong?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it hurts even more to lose because it's not like a mistake across the board. These guys did all they're supposed to do and more. He even got a half of a quarter extra of last night's game.
Yeah. He made all the right
So
decisions.
He had a little, longer time to get it, but yeah.
Jay, what's crazy is like Jay kept the season alive.
Yes, he's now 4-3.
Yeah.
Because
he's in the mix of it.
That's a big deal. And Tom goes to 3-4. And obviously I love Jay and Tom, but I really think Tom probably has a better team at the current state. So it's interesting. I mean, 31 points from James Robinson. DeAndre Hopkins goes off. Will Fuller scores a touchdown. I mean,
no, it doesn't look like a lot, but Cooper's 15.5. That might be
it's shocking that he had 15.5.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. They're down to number 3.
Both their kickers put up 12 points. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, today's 4-3. What's that?
That both their kickers put up 12.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It was match of the week by far.
Yeah, it was close.
So even Randall Cobb on Jay's bench was up 17.5 points.
It's true.
Yeah, he just had everybody rolling.
CJ, what a week without Chris Thompson does.
Was that the king? You had to get rid of him?
So listen, shout out to Jay for putting up the points. Tom, that's unfortunate. That's some Chuck luck there because Charles has been doing that all year, putting up a ton of points and getting his ass kicked. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I think Charles last week we were saying had like the third most points.
Yeah. He might be. He's probably high in the scoring.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Scoring,
he's put up like 130, 140 a week.
Coming into this week, he was top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, certainly not.
And very close to 3. So.
And again, this is like similar to my matchup where you put up 100 points for 3 weeks in a row, and then you throw up 160 points. It's crazy. Fantasy football. Fantasy football is nuts.
Man. Sometimes it's a reality.
Fantasy football is nuts.
Yes, sir.
What else?
Next matchup we have is a matchup that is well overdone. Done, cooked. It's, me and Brian. Let's talk about it. Keep it light. Up 90. I know Brian's watching this one because he did ask, how do I watch the live video? So if we can all just wave to Brian real quick. So I'll wave to Brian. Hey, Brian. Hey, buddy.
You're not on your camera doesn't work, Jake.
He's good on my end. He's good on my end.
All right.
Oh, I don't see him at
right.
all. Okay, cool.
All right.
So-
all right.
Okay, now he's not. You jinxed it. Okay, we're good.
Anyway, back
listen.
to the news.
Crazy matchup. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams goes off. It really you really cashed in on that this week. AJ Brown cashed in on him.
We did.
I don't know. Gronk is your real tight end, or is somebody on a bye week? I don't know.
Mark Andrews is on a bye.
Yep.
So
All the replacement.
And Justin Jefferson's on the bye, so Henry runs.
You won that.
18
A
points.
plethora of points. Yeah.
This is
The same San Francisco defense that gave up -5 when you traded them scores 18 this week. Go figure.
I'm just saying, you gotta. My scouting team is getting sharper as the weeks go on.
Jakey Schefter.
Jakey Schefter breaking news. I'd be in his locker room.
One of your top receivers finally go off.
I can take you back to week 1 when I beat Adam with that same method. It feels good. It feels good. I trimmed the fat, got rid of Michael Thomas and the questionable and the decisions. Just move on.
Oh, trim the fat.
Let's just trim the fat. Let's get someone with legs. Let's get some AJ Brown in there. Put him in the flex. you know, it's going to be okay, you know, as long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't do what Joey keeps wishing and talking and trying to make happen so much of, you know, he's going to give you a lot of 7-point games and sometimes he'll give you this and this is not your Aaron Rodgers. This is 2020's Aaron Rodgers. It's a lot different.
I've had two versions of Aaron Rodgers. I've had the 7-point, 8-point, it's not 9-point Aaron Rodgers and the broken clavicle Aaron Rodgers.
All right, well,
so
but it doesn't kill you, make you stronger. So I appreciate it.
Did we say it last week that this might be the year Beerich is in a tutu?
Oh yeah. We talked about it. We got to watch a little bit of football on Sunday together, and every time like we're watching Red Zone and like Connor runs, AJ Brown touchdown, Devontae Adams. Every time the game changed, it was something else. But then the Washington game was on. He goes, Scary Terry. I'm like, oh, who do you have him against? He goes, you. I have him against you. I mean, Scary Terry was your, you know.
And then you proceeded to all over him.
Yeah. He has a lot of single-digit games. I'm just listen, Brian.
His last 3 weeks, just so you know, his last 3 weeks were 105, 99, 84.
We call that a downward trend.
On the show, we like to say that's a downward trend. Yeah.
Yeah. But listen,
I tell you this.
You got to be humble. You got to stay humble.
The year I had last year really opened me up to the fact that it can happen to anybody. And I don't wish that upon anybody, not even people I don't like. It's a terrible feeling. So, go to church, light a candle, be rich. You got to do what you got to do.
Ronnie's asking in the chat when we were watching the games yesterday, right? He's like, oh, why is it so quiet in here? Like, I didn't want to chime in, I don't win enough. So I feel like if I'm winning and I start talking shit, now I'm the...
No, we don't want to hear that. You know what it is, Jake? No. Here's the thing.
Like AJ
when you win like that, when you win like that, you have to act like you've been here before.
But I haven't. I'm not a good actor. I'm not Leo. I'm just me.
Yeah, but you got to fake it till you make it.
No, baby boy. I'm putting up 170 handsomely. I am on a different level right now.
Handsomely is extremely debatable.
Oh, I took him to church and then school, and then I dropped him off at his mom's. And
no, I meant you.
Not anymore.
In this area.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Jake, shout out to your team.
Woo-woo.
Doing well.
You got the music?
First time ever. I've only had to introduce everyone else's music for 16 plus games now. So it's good to, make
it. It takes two at a tango. Maybe two is your savior. Let's see what happens. I'm curious.
Maybe not. So that's it. I mean, great matchup as always. Next, we have another high scorer. We have Loud and AJ. And you hate to see it. Just kidding. This is awesome. We have Loud with 144, AJ 94. Man, this was, let's see, who was his flex?
AJ, Loud, get your calculator out. You can't do this math in your head. Get the calculator out. 144 minus 53. What's the number there?
Oh, please. That hurts.
If I got a 0, if Tyler Lockett got a 0, AJ would have won.
I have a question for you. Yeah. In the history of the That's It Fantasy Football show, podcast show, or year of Tyler Lockett, has he ever goose-egged in a game before?
Yes.
Okay, so it is within reason to think that Tyler Lockett does not always score 53 points. What I'm saying is, I was so excited for this matchup because I even said it last week that this is going to be the matchup of the week. Two teams, 4-2, 5-1. I thought at the time they're trending to be the best teams in the league. They're both in an upwards trajectory. Okay, and before Tyler Lockett goes off, everyone's like, well, why is the chat so quiet? And I'm like, well, because this matchup is like 102 to 95, 101 to 98, 103 to 70, a whole day.
It's another battle of single digits.
It was like, okay, what's going to happen?
Imagine Ronald Jones didn't have that touchdown. Like, Ronald Jones, obviously, Tom Brady was going off, but Ronald Jones has 10 points because of a touchdown. They take away 6 from 10. Ronald Jones leaves you with 4. Like, you win. Like Tyler Lockett was.
I mean, I think AJ was projected. I think even after Thursday Night Football was projected. I think
Cooper Kupp had a big run, boys.
130 and change or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it was close for a while, and then it just kind of fizzled out. Obviously, the Beckham doesn't help, which God bless him because AJ made it to week 7 without having any real injuries. So.
Listen, he looks really good on Thursday. You know, he had the Boston Scott, the Fulgham, the Phillies defense, the Giants kicker.
Yeah.
He was looking hot. I think he went into there with, like, what is that, like 50 something points? 45, right? Yeah, that's a strong start. But if you end with 94 for 45, who was that? That's the backup.
Mount.
Yeah, Monty.
Full Mount. I think it's full mount.
That's that mud butt.
But yeah,
so
clearly Tyler Lockett was a massive help.
Sure, saved this whole matchup.
Not only for the full amount of points, but every time he had all 3 of Russell Wilson's touchdowns. So,
well, and that was the other thing. I was like, man, like if Russell Wilson, and it's funny. I was telling Mike this morning too because this game really impacted Ronnie's game, which we'll probably get to next, because if Russell Wilson throws those to DK Metcalf rather,
yeah,
it's a different ending on everybody's part. Like you get the loss, Ronnie gets the win. It's
everyone
crazy.
needed everyone but Lockett to get it. Like Tom had to root for Carson. Someone's rooting for Metcalf. You know, everyone had, and then obviously he has what's it called? Russell Wilson. So everyone's like rooting for everyone, but you're the only one going for Lockett. And you have every single Seahawk being rooted for individually. Someone needs Russell Wilson to go off. Someone needs Chris Carson. But you're just a bearer of bad news, and you just took everything away. Like he was a magnet.
I have a question for you, and then we'll move on. But was starting Greg Olsen part of it because you were going against Russell Wilson or no?
100%, yeah.
Just to see if he was going to get the touchdown, just to cancel him out.
Yep.
He's on week 7. He's on week 7 of his 7 different tight end starting lineup. So had to be somebody. I think you started the guy from the Jets. I think twice. I think he started like Herndon like once or twice.
First turned on, yeah. He was a hot trade commodity.
I almost got Jazicki off that.
Hashtag never forget.
True.
So listen, congrats, Lau. It's a good look for the podcast to have somebody who's going to be 5-2 on the show. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Next, you mentioned Ronnie's matchup. What are they doing here? Where's Ronnie? Here we go. Ronnie and Mike, right?
Yep.
Still going on. He's down 108, 133. Mike is done with 133.5. Ronnie has 108 with Robinson in the defense, and he's projected to fall a little short with 121. But hey, you never know. When you have Big Dick Nick on your team, don't flag me, YouTube.
You never know.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I mean, really, like you're going to have to just assume the Chicago defense by the end of this game is going to have 0, the rate they're going.
Correct.
Unless Khalil Mack's going to get some pressure, get some sacks, strip fumble, a fumble recovery or something. Like I don't. They're going to.
It's not going to outscore the defense Mike had today. I'll tell you that one.
No, and then you have like Allen Robinson. Like, listen, it's still the game is so early. Like anything can happen. But he's going to need a lot of points.
Yeah, no. I mean, he had Tom Brady. He got 19 from the defense.
I can imagine Mike. Okay, we all know Michael Height. I can imagine.
Familiar.
When you see Joe Burrow put up 41, his level of excitement that he started Tom Brady was probably through the roof.
I was just going to mention
that. So the fact that he's got 44 out of him that night is a blessing, I think, for him and his blood pressure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Listen, talk shit. AJ Green, 15 points. Come get some.
Whoa.
What is going on with New Orleans, though?
If Kamara had a touchdown, this game's close. With like you feel better about having Allen Robinson left, maybe. And Metcalf. Like Metcalf's not gonna go. When has Metcalf gone 2 for 23? That was it. Like, no, not this. No.
Not
Like,
when
Kamara-
Russell Wilson's throwing 1,000 yards a game.
Exactly. If Kamara gets one touchdown,
And Metcalf wasn't part of it. That's crazy to me.
yeah. If Metcalf had like 4 more touches, Kamara gets a touchdown. We're talking about this matchup completely differently. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, it's
crazy.
absolutely nuts.
It sucks, but
Hey, listen, this is part of the game, I guess. I mean, it's like you gotta like believe.
Yeah.
leave.
DJ Shark didn't do so hot. But here's another one of those games, right, where Gardner Minshew still had 22 and change, 24 points, or whatever the case may be.
I've never even seen him on television.
His receivers had nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that happen?
Crazy. Did you see that running back of Jacksonville? The one that had COVID?
Yeah. He was on Tom's team and he didn't do shit.
No.
To count towards his win.
No, the one who the running back that was supposed to
he had 30 points and he still didn't win. So to me, it's like he didn't do shit.
No.
He didn't do enough.
No. Why didn't you finish his story? Jeez.
No, the running back of the Jacksonville Jaguars that was supposed to take over for Fournette.
Oh, you're talking about Armstead?
Yes. You're going off about the wrong guy. I was like, yo, this man.
Oh, you're talking to me
yeah. I couldn't think of his name. I couldn't even think of his name. You're like, oh, who that piece of shit? I'm like, no, I don't think we're talking about the same one here.
No, I'm just saying he didn't do shit. He needed more.
Yeah, Armstead's out like the whole year. That's why.
So what's crazy about that is that he's 23 years old. He's got COVID twice, and he can't play this year. Like, he's fucked up. He's sick from COVID.
Yeah, like he's not like NFL thing.
Everybody thinks that like you're gonna get COVID. I'm sorry.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's hospitalized still. Like he's not like it's not like an NFL holding him back thing. It's like
a healthy 23-year-old.
Respirator.
That's what's crazy about it. Is that like you're like, oh, he has COVID. He's gonna be out for 5 days or 6 days. Like the NFL is like insane. But I'm like, yeah, but if you have COVID, like you really might be fucked up. Like you don't want to play football for 2 weeks. Armstead is one of the examples of that. So, ESPN, I know you're not a big listener of the show, but if you are, like, expand the fucking IRs and fix your postponement shit. Please.
It's just in case you're listening.
Just in case I caught your ear.
And give us like a female reporter. Like, you got to do something with this, Send us one of those, your weakest.
So, listen. 3 and 4. Mikey might go to 4 and 3. Ronnie loses. He's 4 and 3. It's a big deal.
Of course.
It's a big deal. We talked about it last week. The elevator goes like this, right? That elevator's moving.
It
Ronnie's
is.
about to be on a 3-game losing streak.
True story.
Who is?
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
If Ronnie doesn't pull this together,
It's crazy.
Yeah,
based
because
on
he won.
projections, he's not going to.
Yeah, it was.
3-game losing streak.
He was a team that we all loved.
Yeah.
And we thought his team was good. And then, listen, some people got to go down, some people got to go up. Is that it?
Yeah.
So, moving on. Last matchup we have you and our father. How you enjoy beating up on a man who can kill you with his pinky is beyond me.
Was it? How can I what? Find joy?
How can you let a man? Yeah, how can you call him and rub your nose in this matchup when the man can literally reach through the phone and put you in a guillotine, fold you like a lawn chair, and still send you off to work? But listen, however you choose to talk your shit, talk your shit. He needs
We'll start
Willips
with
and
analysis
Graham.
first, then Jose can talk shit, and he had stories to tell as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know. Before we
First
get
off,
into stories,
I'd like to talk about how your father had a skill position player put up negative points.
very
And
true.
That That might be a league first.
But here's my issue with this is I'm over here like sweating bullets that he has Jerick McKinnon. I'm like, yo, Jerick McKinnon's going to put a hurting on me. I survived the Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He got the garbage time touchdown. He was at the goal line. Just so you know, I was listening to the game on the way home from the farmer's market, and it was like Derrick Henry on the goal line, 3 rushes to get in. He doesn't get in on the third attempt. They commit a foul on defensive holding. And they reset the down, and now they have 4 more downs on the goal line to get it in. Like you can't make it up. I'm like, I survived the Derrick Henry game.
That was another
15 points.
to watch.
Now it gets to Jerick McKinnon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, we know Mozart's out. We know Tevin Coleman's not playing. Everybody on this in the league is thinking it's Jerick McKinnon. Am I the only one that thought it was only going to be Jerick McKinnon? Because they didn't play him at all. I thought he was hurt. They didn't play him at all. They give it to Wilson. Wilson breaks his ankle, high ankle sprain in the third quarter. I go, fuck. Now they're definitely going to give it to McKinnon. McKinnon goes in. He gets 1 play backwards for a yard. And then they went to like Hasty or something. Like they go to a different player. Like they still didn't play him. So what happened to McKinnon? I thought he was a good play. I thought that was going to be a good look for him, and that didn't work out.
That guy's just, I feel like that guy's always been on the wrong team, even though he's talented.
Right. Like if you land on a team with 4 running backs.
Everybody wanted to see Robbie Anderson versus DJ Moore.
Hey, DJ. That's my DJ. Go, DJ. Yeah, he did his little thing. I seen him. We saw him do his little thing. You know what I'm saying? He had a little game. You know what I'm saying? He justifies your top 30 player.
I called my dad today, and I'm like, Dad, it's still close. Obviously, I mean, all jokes aside, I can still lose the game. Like, who gives a shit? I can still lose.
Yeah.
I said, Dad's like, listen, he's like, doesn't matter. He goes, if I lose, he goes, it's okay. He goes, I still get to play Adam.
Oh, he told me that. Oh, shit.
Wow.
He told me that today, too. I spoke to him as well.
I said, Dad, I'm going to mention that on the podcast. So he goes, yeah, if I lose, I lose. I still get to play Adam. It's okay. It's okay.
But he said to me, too,
I said, that was fucked up. And then the other thing my dad had mentioned to me, he goes, I called Charles up. Charles, I don't think listens to the show, so we can talk what we want. He goes, I called Charles up. And I said, he goes, Joey's home. Joey's home during the week. You should give him a call so this way you can get fitted for the tutu. Oh, man. I said, holy shit.
Damn.
So,
Mamo got jokes.
Yo, yeah, he had jokes, so he was in good spirits.
That's good.
Listen, I fucked up. I put in Tampa defense. I put in Tampa defense because the reports for since Thursday was that the O-line of the Raiders went on COVID IR reserve, and that they were putting in practice squad O-line. I'm
So
like,
you're
yo,
like,
the Bucs defense are going to tear them up. That was not the case. Now,
you need the receivers. You need the receivers to go on IR. That way, the defense would have a bigger impact. Just picking them off. Like the O line is.
They're like second in
the
the
team to
sacks.
play Denver.
So,
yeah,
I did on my bench. You shit.
Yeah, we know.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good qualification for picking a defense.
Yeah. Is your team
But
playing the Broncos?
I wouldn't think that was a wrong move, per se.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, just to justify it with the COVID and the whole line being out, of course. But yeah, no. But listen, you didn't lose yet, or not. So it's no move is bad when you get a W.
If I lose this matchup, that's gonna eat me. That's gonna eat at me.
No move is a bad move when you get that dub.
If you lose, if I were you, and you end up losing this game, I'd be more bad about Claypool's score.
Well, I listen, like,
because he
how do you
blew
not
up
play
for,
him?
what, 2-3 weeks and then under one. That's tough.
That's tough. And I didn't play Shepard because he just came back from his toe injury.
They were playing the Eagles though.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to worry about Claypool anymore, do you?
Most likely not. No.
No, huh? No more Claypool to worry about.
Rams defense. Sad.
You might have to worry about Andy Dalton's brain though.
Yeah, Andy Dalton. I mean, no shock here, but Andy Dalton going to find his way on the waiver wire tomorrow. I don't know. That's breaking news.
Yep.
I mean, it's breaking news.
Also, gotta shout out Carson Wentz again.
Hey man, Carson Wentzy. Mike is my witness. I went to work on Friday and I wore as much green as I could. I think I sent the picture to Jake too. I mean, I was sham, Bird Gang, everything. I didn't give a fuck. I was on the train.
Game was on Thursday. He called me Friday. He called me Saturday. And he called me Sunday. It was always that Carson Wentz game, huh? I'm like, come on, man. I'm just saying. Listen, he gets the job done.
Carson Wentz's position rank in fantasy is 9.
He was 24.
But for
when
some
the
reason,
slander
he's only
started.
rostered on 61% of teams in ESPN.
You gotta have big stones to do it. So that's my story there.
Keith Smooth.
He had good running back production too.
Yes.
So
Finally, welcome Antonio Gibson.
I think I say Antonio Brown. Welcome,
Mike
Antonio
picked him
Brown.
I was like,
Yeah,
Mike
Mike
dropped him up, right?
Oh, Mike picked him up, dropped him for a tight end, and then the next day wavered him the next day and picked him up on waivers and dropped the tight end and then didn't and kept him. Antonio Brown fallout, I think it hurts the Mike Evans and like everybody else over there, Chris Godwin. It hurts them. It has to help Tom Brady, right? As a Tom Brady owner, you got to be pumped.
I don't think Antonio Brown's coming in commanding Godwin's load.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not week one, not the first week to come back at least. Like Antonio Brown would have to have like a game in
not so much the load though, but it's like the touchdowns.
No, it's the looks. If Antonio Brown he takes advantage of the looks he does get in a small sample size. Like if he gets 5 targets, 5 catches, 60 yards, it's like shit. Now we have to pay attention to you.
Also, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure Antonio Brown is still out of his goddamn mind. So who knows what's gonna happen there.
That's what I was saying. Like just because Malcolm Brown.
That's fair.
I also saw a rumor that the Seahawks are the ones that leaked information about them talking to Antonio Brown so that they didn't have to sign him.
Why would they
I
not?
thought Russell Wilson was
like they worked him out and went, I don't know, and kind of leaked it out so that other people got more interest and they can go, oh, sorry,
because there was
somebody else gave you a better offer, and then go, whew.
Yeah, because Russell Wilson was like on his knees and like the man deserves a second chance. I think he belongs. There's a quote from Bruce Arians, that's the coach, right, of the Tampa Bay, back in March, saying in regards to Antonio Brown, I don't see cap space, I don't see money, I don't see touches to go around. There's just no reason for him to be here. So I would say let's get off that train, like get off the idea of it. Antonio Brown will not be a Buccaneer. And now Antonio Brown's the kind of guy who's going to bring that up in the first day of practice. He's going to snuff the coach. Like, remember, I wasn't supposed to be here. And then Tom Brady's like, fellas, and then it's over. Then it's like all that shit for nothing. Like you forget how Antonio Brown's last 5 years went. Like it's crazy. He's out of his goddamn mind. So his hair is. We'll know what mood he's in based on what kind of haircut he has. If he has like a clean cut head, maybe some dreads, watch out. But if he comes in with that little block on the back of the head with like a gold tooth, 3 dreads in the front, yeah, no. Remember Josh Gordon? He's a new Josh Gordon.
He's still signed by the Seahawks on the practice squad until he's reinstated by the NFL.
Oh, good for him. So should I be scouring the waiver wire? Is that what you're saying?
And then you'll pick him up, Jose. So
Yeah, we know.
No, that's one I'm done with.
I thought you were, and no, you were taking him oh man, you were still getting him like his like height of the Browns. Like you were drafting him, and then it was like questions of him like missing 10-game suspension. You're like still taking him as if he was playing those first 10 games. Like you're still, you're still taking him in like the third round. Like, yeah, but when he comes back, it's going to be like you believed in that guy all the time.
Yeah, week 11 stash in a 13-week fantasy season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Your dream team is Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers as your backup, AJ Green, Josh Gordon, and Julian Edelman coming off the ACL. Week
I'm
16.
sorry. I thought I heard you say quarterback number 16.
Correct. I'm sorry. They flashed his name on the screen, and I was confused why they didn't show.
Edelman hurt?
No, he's okay. Let me tell you something.
He's on the receiving end of
Patriots.
Cam Newton now.
The Patriots have one touchdown from their receivers this year. So if you just guard Edelman in a double, no other receivers fearing the defense. So it's like he's non-existent. Like he couldn't even cook toast right now. Like he's shit. He's getting that Zach Ertz treatment of just like if we double team him, who else are they gonna throw to? So listen, this is the quickest podcast I think, right? It was pretty quick. I'm sweating. I gotta get out of here. I'm so gross. We did all the matchups. We talked our shit. We did our stuff, you know. I have to do my final goodbye.
Yeah.
Announce anything or just salute?
No, just I was looking for a 10-second quiet. If you could shut up, please.
No, I'm not giving you a moment of silence.
Shh.
I can't see your video, so I don't know what you're doing.
You're a liar. You always say that.
I'll show you what I've been seeing the whole time. Send it to you guys.
It's illegal to record videos on YouTube. So if you could stop that.
So you know, YouTube's been yelling at us every Monday. We get an email from YouTube bitching at us about our music selections and how it's not okay and that we have to pay licensing to somebody for royalties.
Yeah, we've been flagged for demonetization for every video, and one of them was straight pulled.
So, win.
It's back. We got this.
Ooh, McCaffrey plays Thursday.
This will be Jake's last podcast as he relocated his job and they switched hours, and now he is working on Monday nights. So that is it for Jake, and going forward, it'll just be Loud and I for the rest of the year. So that's how it's going down.
I'd like to
I
say,
would like
you guys can catch.
We should try a guest one week. Maybe we can work that out.
Yeah, wait for me to leave, then get a guest. Real cute, guys. Can you plot your fucking plan of attack? I'm still here, gentlemen. If everyone wants to follow my OnlyFans, that's where you'll find me.
Oh, jeez.
It's just me chugging hot sauce and drinking beer, taking mean shits. That's all it is.
So it's a normal day for you.
Yeah, it's my only man's. While I'm gone, I hope the Carson Wentz slander continues on the way it's going. I hope you guys continue to keep him, treated highly like the number 9 position ranked quarterback he is.
If he keeps scoring 35 points every week, we're gonna have to.
It feels good to not have to be responsible for anyone getting upset for things that are said on this podcast. I can now look at this podcast as a fan, and not a contributor. So that's a little tough, but I'll adjust, and that's it. Wear pink for breast cancer awareness. That's me. Holy shit! Look at my nugget.
Yeah, we're
look at that
thing now.
You've logged into your OnlyFans.
Thank God they didn't hear. Oh yeah, you can go on my subreddit and just get all my OnlyFans account stuff for free. So
nicely done.
Yeah, we'll maybe work on a guest one week. We might change the show format. We'll figure it out for next week.
If YouTube keeps
but
taking
Jake,
it down.
I do thank you for your season and a half of service.
Yes, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. This wouldn't be happening without you and Jose. So I'm just helping carry on something, So.
Of course. Listen, the way it's going, if YouTube keeps flagging it, the podcast might just be like an open text forum in a few minutes. I'll be right on the text chat. You know.
There you go.
And Odell tore his ACL because he doesn't know how to tackle.
Because Baker doesn't know how to throw.
No,
That
Odell jumped on a dog pile and couldn't walk afterwards. That's not how you play defense. Come
Chris
on, big
Carson,
man.
week to week, Tommy boy.
Yep.
I just noticed B Rich is in the live YouTube chat.
Yeah, man. Shout out B Rich.
Apparently, Raquel Armstead had a bad heart or something, so that's why COVID's messing him up.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
I like
saying.
that. B-Rich jumps in. He's the fact checker now. I like it. Nice.
Respect to B Rich and T Dubs being on the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Also, if that happened like 10 minutes ago, sorry, I just saw it.
All
right. Well, listen, it's a great show. We'll get ready for week 8. We are halfway through the season now. So
Yeah, man.
let's keep it moving. Let's keep it positive. Everybody love everybody. So long.
Bye.